Thank God it's Friday. I hope you guys are ready for a great show. I got the one and only John Chapman here. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about the 49ers and Levi Stadium possibly hosting Super Bowl LX, Super Bowl 60 a few years from now. I love it. We're going to break that down. We're going to talk about Trey Lance. We're going to talk about a bunch of things. And for the first time, John and I are going to rank a position group throughout the NFC. Stick around right here on the Wayne Breezie Show.
Breezie this, Breezie that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezie this, Breezie that. Ain't nobody working like Breezie, and that's a fact.
What's going on, everybody? Your boy Wayne Breezie and John Chapman is in the building. John.
It's a good day. It's a good day.
It's a great day, John. It's a great day. You know why? It's Friday and you're here. It's so cool because we get a little breather. I got you on Tuesday. You get to take a couple days off from my crazy self. And then you return at the butt crack of dawn and you're ready to go. I love it, John.
It's Friday's my least productive day. Has been since teaching, coaching, whatever else. Like even whenever it was game days on Fridays, like I was always exhausted. But this is like such a good way to start the day off. And I have found since I've been doing these shows with you on Friday mornings, like my day is not a complete waste on Fridays anymore, which is nice. So started off with some Breezie.
I love it. And we're going to start off with some of the Countdown crew as well as the Breezie's bunch who are in the building. Now, today's a great episode because we're going to be giving something away, John. I'm going to let you introduce that in a second. But I got to give shout-outs to Jax Knox. She's in the building with the hashtags poppin'. Troy is in the building as well. Peachy as well. My man, Bro Montana's watching on your channel with the hashtags. I love it. Eddie G told me he was listening from the truck on his way home from work. Woke Niner Recaps is definitely in the building. The beautiful, lovely, vivacious Miss Debbie Ryan is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. And shout out to everybody else out there, man. They're in here. Raphael 562 Niners. Marty Marr 49er Empire is in the building. It's so quick. I'm trying to go through these as quickly as possible. But listen, I appreciate you guys for your patronage right here on the Wayne Breezie channel. Now listen, in the description of the show, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed to 49ers Rush, aka John Chapman, make sure you click on the link right there in the description. Matter of fact, it's not even a link anymore. YouTube done upgraded, John, and they have handles. They're on their Twitter-ish right now, and I love it. I love it. John, let's talk about this giveaway. The Wayne Breezie channel has officially reached 3K.
That's a lot of people, man. That's pretty impressive. And not to mention what you went through to start from scratch and get back and all that crazy stuff. It's impressive, man.
Oh, my gosh. Now, listen, John, I want to give away a signed Elijah Mitchell jersey, and we're going to do it right here on the live show. Now, John, why don't you talk about how we're going to give this away?
Yeah, and I want to put this out there, okay? So I appreciate everybody joining from both channels. That's always great. Today is about growing Wayne's show and Wayne's channel. So when you guys comment on our live show, like it shows us whether you're commenting from my channel or his channel, and we always do these things together. And it's a beautiful thing wherever you're watching or listening or downloading from. All positive. Today, if you are watching from my channel, the 49ers Rush channel, here's what I need you to do. Go into the description, click on the Wayne Breezie Show, or, you just type in the top of the YouTube, the Wayne Breezie, go to his channel, because to get this jersey, you've got to be on his channel. So I appreciate everybody that's watching from mine. You guys are the best, all that stuff. I need you to stop watching on mine. I need you to go to Wayne's. I need you to hit subscribe, and I need you to comment #BB, the Breezie Bunch. On his channel. If you do that on ours, you're not going to be eligible for this giveaway that we're going to do this episode. So right now, if you're watching on my channel, go to his, The Wayne Breezie on YouTube. And for all the audio listeners, we just want to say thank you. Appreciate you guys. We're trying to do something for the live audience here. But yeah, so go over there. Go, get.
Now, the cool thing is, John, if you're watching on a computer or on a cell phone, you can open up more than one browser. So they don't even have to stop watching. On your channel. They can watch on both. It'll kill the processing on your cell phone or your device, but who gives a You're going to be able to tune. You're going to support 2 streams at one time. I call it multitasking, but I'm looking to give away the jersey toward the end of the show, so make sure you stick around. And we have a couple announcements that we want to make before we get the show started. I got to give a super shout out to my brother from another mother. We met him down and ate the ATL. Can't even say ATL, but we had a great time. Shout out to my brother Eddie G, who's in the place. This dude, I call him Eddie G and the Bulldogs. He's been a member of the Wayne Breezie channel for 6 months. That's half a year. I truly appreciate you, bro. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling in all the time. And we got our first Super Chat contribution, which I love to get to at the very beginning of the show. So whoever gives first gets the announcement first. The one and only Miss Jax Knox is in the building. Hey, John and Wayne, it's Friday. Y'all know how I feel. Let's have a great show. I think she feels 17-0, John. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty great, and I'm excited because Jack said she's coming out to some of our road trips, which is going to be awesome. So we get to meet in person, which I'm pretty pumped about.
Since we talking about road trips, John, let's talk about the road trips, John. So listen, if you guys have been sleeping under rocks for the past 3 years, 4 years, all right, John Chapman created this great, I'm just going to call it how I call it. It's a mother freaking vibe. And shout out to John and the crew for allowing Breezie to be a part of that vibe. And it's called the 49ers Rush Road Trip. John, take us away, baby.
Yeah, the site is live. We have 6 trips planned this year so far. We've got Pittsburgh, Dallas, the Vikings Monday Night Football game, Jacksonville, Seattle for Thanksgiving, and then the Arizona game. So those are up, and we've got a party for the night before. Right now, we got early bird pricing. It's $10. You're going to get a gift. Like, we don't make money on this stuff. This covers paying for the venues and all that kind of stuff. And then we also have a tailgate the day up.
That shit.
$10. I'm sorry.
That's
Go
it,
ahead.
man. Now, this is the early bird pricing that we usually do to reward those that are with us in the off season. Those prices do tend to go up. But yeah, so you can come out to our party. Again, you get gifts, giveaways, raffles. Wayne's there DJing, having a great time. We do all kinds of fun stuff. And then we have tailgates the day of. So we fully expect most of these to sell out, especially the Pittsburgh one, week 1. So all you got to do, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. The site is live. You can go get your tickets for the early bird pricing right now. At our tailgates, all you can eat, all you can drink, premium liquor, premium everything. We have never run out of what we got going on. So, like, you're going to have a good time. You're not spending, an hour waiting in line for a beer. I've been a part of those tailgates. Not what I want to create. So, got to come party with us. 49ersrushroadtrip.com.
Now, I'm going to be there only because I'm going to get something for free. So I'm going to get a free T-shirt. I don't know if it's this T-shirt.
Yeah, man. That's like my favorite T-shirt we've ever made. And I don't have that shirt.
See, what had happened
I gave them all away or something.
Nah, I don't know. All I know is I seen it in the suitcase when I was unpacking. And I was like, oh, that's one of a kind. He's not going to miss it. It was probably your shirt that you were going to wear. And I kindly took it for myself.
Well, it looks good, man. It looks good. It's funny because my wife and kids have them because, like, I get the T-shirt order and I'm like, hey, you guys want a shirt? They're like, yeah. And then I give them all away. It happens every single time. Is like I'll have like 1 or 2 set aside and then somebody's like, ooh, can I get a shirt? And I'm like, hell yeah, you get a shirt. And then I have no shirts.
I'm sorry, John, but I'm not sorry because it fits good. So that's why I took it. Peachy says if you haven't been yet, don't miss out. It's indeed a vibe. Like, it's really a dope vibe, yo. I mean, the community, the get together, the breaking the bread, the getting riled up before the game. When we win a game, getting back together. When we lose a game, John still likes to get back together. I go to a different place. When we lose, I'm not involved when we lose because we will get kicked out. We almost got kicked out of Atlanta, but I did show back up, John. I was there. I was accountable. It was tough, though.
That was a tough one, man. That was a tough one, but that's all right. There's going to be tough games every schedule. Like, teams don't go 17-0 and win the Super Bowl. Look at Coach Cruz says he don't have one either. And Coach Cruz had almost all of them.
Hey, man, you got to be. It ain't easy being Breezie. I
That's awesome.
Let's
That's
have
awesome.
some fun, guys. I hope you guys are having fun. It's Friday. Loosen up, man. We got a great show for you guys. Let's go ahead and get down to the kit and caboodle, or like I like to say, the nitty gritty. We talked about OTAs kicking off, man. Those will be happening next week. I'm super excited about the OTAs that are going down. You're going to get Trey Lance, and you're going to get Sam Darnold. John, they're going to be splitting reps, man. What are your thoughts on the reppage split amounts? What's going to go down? It's 60-40, 50-50, 70-30, 90-10. What do you think?
I think OTAs is always almost 50-50. Like, it's not like first team, second team. That's always just, look, you get up, you throw this ball, you get up, throw this ball, and everybody's just cycling through. You do some 11-on-11 stuff, but it's not about, splitting reps and all that. Like, that doesn't make sense. Once you get into training camp, and it's the scripted times. And so if you ever have been to a practice at any level, everybody's cycling through until you get to scripted times. Once you get to scripted times, then I'd say probably 75-25 split in Trey Lance's favor, but it's going to happen organically. If Trey Lance shows up and balls out, he's going to get almost all those reps. If Trey Lance, and again, it's all on Trey Lance's shoulders. If Trey Lance shows up and he's inaccurate, turning the ball over and taking too long to process, then it's going to be Sam Darnold's job. But this is all on Trey Lance. We know what Darnold is, and all the hype in the world can come from wherever. I don't care. It's Sam Darnold. Not trying to be rude here, but it's Sam Darnold. We know what he is.
We know. We do. We've seen him. He's been in the league for several years. He's been a starting quarterback for several years. We do know what he is. Let me ask you this question. Which position group are you most excited for at 49ers OTAs?
Man, that's a good question. I really want to see the wide receiver rotation. That's what I want. Oh, look at Wade. I got it right, I guess. I think we're on the same level. I got the validation bell. Oh, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, like you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I think we're trying to figure out. We know the solid 3, the solid 4. John, are you leaning toward 6? Or are you leaning toward shit?
I want 5. No,
just
because
you just made it extra complicated. You just put the shit. You ever played? I don't know if you play video games, John. I know you play video games, but don't tell anybody that.
I'm wearing a Mortal Kombat shirt, man. Come on.
I gotta take you back to the 80s then, John.
Get over here.
We're the same age, right? You ever play the game called The Legend of Zelda on Nintendo?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Did you ever beat the game and then get to the second version of the game?
I'm pretty sure I did. It's been a long time. I've had a lot of Dos Equis since then.
Let me just tell you, the second version of that game was almost impossible. Nintendo was so advanced, they put two versions on the same game. You didn't need a code to get it. You just had to beat the first one, and then all of a sudden it opened up the game again, and it was dumb hard. Like, everything was hard to kill. That, to me, is how I feel this wide receiver position is going to be. Like, we know who should be there, but then they brought in so many guys for competition. I'm confused.
They got 12, which you talked about how they should cut one of them when they were at 13, and they did the next day, which was awesome. You nailed that. But also, man, I'm going to make it even more complicated. Is Cameron Latu going to be playing a big slot? Like, what's that look like?
That would be dope to use him in the slot, though.
It makes sense. Might be a little too much early on, but I think eventually you're going to see some of that as a move guy, that extra big-bodied out there. But he's got a year because this is Juwan Jennings' last year on contract, and he's got a year. He needs some seasoning. I fully expect Braden Willis to get a lot more snaps early on, but Latu long-term. Oh, look at Zelda, baby.
All right, guys, question out there, far from the 49ers. What happens is we get together and we just nerd out, all right? Legend of Zelda versus Final Fantasy. Ready, go.
Zelda for me. The Final Fantasy crew are like a whole – that's like the Reddit people. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I can't go to that level. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I respect it and the soundtrack and all that stuff. I get it. It's just, sorry, man. That's past my wavelength.
I got you, bro. It lost me after 7, 8, 9. You got a bunch of Zeldas in here. Final Fantasy 7 is the GOAT, bro. I'm trying to tell people. Matter of fact, Final Fantasy something 25, 38 is coming out soon on PlayStation 5. I got to get it just because I probably will never play it, but I'm going to get it. But there's a new Zelda coming out as well, and I got to get it. I'm going to play it. I'm definitely going to play Zelda.
I play Halo. That's the only game I still play.
Can't do it. All right. So, guys, that's mini camp. John gave you his position group that he was going to look out to. I'm trying to be different. But I feel like in OTAs, right, you're not going to really get the full-fledged edge rushing on the tackles. You're not going to get all of that, right? So I'm going to go with the DBs. You want to see the wide receivers? I want to see the DBs. We have just as many DBs as we do wide receivers. Go figure, John. Is that by coinky dink?
It usually you have more DBs than wide receivers. Usually you got a couple more. So I think that there's going to be some more cuts coming. Probably not for a while, but some of the first positions to go will be wide receivers, I think.
Ooh, my. All right, guys, so pay attention. May 22nd is when this is all going to begin. I'm excited because we're going to be bringing you some coverage. We're going to be bringing you stories. We're going to be bringing you shows about what's going on with the 49ers. 49ers news officially starts next week, I feel, because now we're going to get some really good content to go off of, and everybody's going to be excited, all right? So we just wanted to give you that. Speaking of news, there's news. I don't know how much this pertains to the 49ers, but apparently – all right. What's going to happen at the owners' meetings next week is that the Levi Stadium in Santa Clara is going to be set to host Super Bowl 60. Let's talk about it for a little bit. Let's talk about what this does for the city of Santa Clara. And let's talk about how the damn 49ers will be in Super Bowl 60. I'm predicting it right now. Go ahead, John.
I'll say this. Brock Purdy and Trey Lance will be 26 years old for that Super Bowl.
Wow.
Super young.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and also we're talking about Super Bowl 60, almost up there with Final Fantasy numbers. But like, I got him in the middle of the drink. I
didn't know you were paying attention to me when I was talking about Final Fantasy being on 38.
But this is huge. It's awesome financially for the city, for the community, all those things. You know, the 49ers, Jed York, they had to take a loan from the NFL to upgrade the suites or whatever. Has nothing to do with us. One day we might be up there. Once Breezie hits 1 million subscribers, then we'll be in a
I don't think I want to be up there. I'd rather be down in that mid-50. You spoiled me. And when we sit between that 50-yard line, the 40 to 40 to the 50, that's the best view in the stadium. I don't care where you sit.
I'm with you, man. Between the 25s, the upper level, you just see everything. You see it. It opens up. I don't know why the NFL has not created this view. I think Amazon did it once or twice, which was really cool when they did their Prime games. If you click on the Prime, like you can change the broadcast view or whatever. It's the coolest thing in the world. You see the coverages, you just see everything open up. It's beautiful. So excited for Santa Clara. It would be awesome for the 49ers to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. That would be awesome. But yeah, not too far down the road. So let's get it. Super Bowl 60, baby.
I love it. Peachy says, sounds great to me. Let's go. Let's claim it. Super Bowl 60. Greg is con. Super Bowl 60 should be Shanny's second one and the 49ers 7th.
Now we're talking. But here's what's crazy. We're talking about Super Bowl 60. The 49ers already have 5 Super Bowls. Now, it's not enough, but if you just do the law of averages, that means every team should have one, no more than 2, right? Because once you get to Super Bowl 64, every team would have 2. There's 32 teams. 8 teams have never even won the Super Bowl. 8 teams. Niners got 5.
We're spoiled. But it's been 95 years, John.
Okay, it's 1994 was the last time, right? So it's been 29 years. Guess what? You should win 1 Super Bowl every 32. That's just the law of averages. We are due, and I get it. I'm greedy too, but I don't know, man. There's teams that have never even been to the Super Bowl.
I don't care about those teams.
I'm with you. I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
I'm just saying.
I agree.
I don't care about them. What happened? You can call me spoiled. You can call me a whiner. I don't really give a beep. At this point, I just want the 49ers to dominate.
Same. And this is the fandom, right? Because it's like, like I look at it from one side, I'm like, well, statistically, all right, whatever. And then I look at the other way, and I'm like, the Wayne Breezie side, and it's like, I don't care. Get a damn ring. Get a ring.
Ring. I don't care. By any means necessary, get the damn ring. Love Malcolm X. Apply the philosophy, keep it moving, and let's go. And then on top of that, I don't even want us just to get the damn ring. I want us to be a dynasty. I want the 49. This is why you and I have said, go ahead and extend John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan till Kingdom Come. Might as well. They don't need to go anywhere till they're ready to call it quits. Just lock them in. Why? Because we know we've seen what we were at the very beginning when they started. Little iffy, little rocky, little shaky. And now it looks like a well-oiled machine. They're just plugging in. The 49ers have drafted so well. They have 0 championships to show for it, but they've been there. They've drafted so well that they don't even utilize those players that they draft to like the next couple of seasons. It's crazy. They're like a farm team of their own team.
Yeah. Most drafted starters last year of any team in the NFL. I think the Eagles were second, but I think the Eagles were at like 16 and we were at like no. The Eagles were at like 12 or 13 and we were at 16. I think is what it was off the top of my head. But yeah, they're building from within. And because they do that, it provides longevity, continuity, culture. All those things are preserved. As long as Shanahan's here, that window's going to be open.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. People keep thinking it's the players. No, it's the system. And I'm going to live by the system, and I'm going to die by the system. And that's just how I'm going to look at it. Because I feel like whoever's the quarterback, whoever's the receivers, whoever the running back, Kyle Shanahan's system is in place. It's a farm system. Again, they're plugging and playing these players. Look how they do free agency. They spend on one guy, and then they get a bunch of pieces. I didn't know this is opposed to how they started. When they started, how many free agents did they spend money on, John? Big money.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they brought in like 10 dudes, and it was Pierre Garçon, Jerick McKinnon, Malcolm Smith, all those different guys, and it was like, good Lord, they paid premiums on everybody, but they had to get them here because the team sucked.
Damn. I mean, it's the truth.
Trent Taylor was our leading receiver. Do you remember those days? And that's not a shot on Trent Taylor. I'm glad he's still in the NFL. He's a punt returner, only basically. But like that dude was our go-to. He was our go-to. He
could catch.
He could. And then the injury, I hated that back injury. I don't think he was ever the same after that. But like now this team, good Lord, we started with wide receivers. Do you think Trent Taylor could make this team?
Hell no.
Hell no. There ain't no way.
What a difference, John. What an area of growth is what I'm trying to say. What an area of growth.
It's changed.
And they've tried, right? They drafted players. I realized what the 49ers were doing. Remember, what's the guy, Jalen? I call him Hurt. He stayed hurt. Jalen Hurd. Remember him? Oh. But did you see what the Niners were doing? They were getting big receivers, playing the slot, can do this, can do that. Unfortunately, due to his injuries, he couldn't get on the football field.
Fatality.
Flawless victory.
I'm sorry, Jalen Hurd. I love Jalen Hurd. I had Jalen Hurd ranked ahead of Debo in my rankings for the draft that year.
I don't have this. Hold on. I got this, though.
What the hell is that shit?
I don't understand.
I will say this. I had Debo appropriately ranked. I had him where he went. I was just so high on Jalen Hurd. And I wanted to see it. We just never got to see it. We never got to see it. And
never got a chance to see it. A couple of positions that we never got to see. Well, yeah, we just never got to see what his potential was. We got it in the preseason game against Dallas, and we were like, oh, snap.
Yeah,
and then it was
different.
injury after injury after injury. But I'm excited if the 49ers, when the 49ers get to host Super Bowl 60, I feel like the city of Santa Clara is going to blow, is going to ignite. This is good for their economy, good for the fans that just want to go to a Super Bowl game. You're going to get all the festivities in town. Think about all the things that happened. Hell, when the Super Bowl came to New York, I wanted to be there. It was just cold as shit. Like, I mean, it was just cold.
I don't like cold weather Super Bowl.
Not at
Santa
all.
Clara's not going to be too cold in February, but it's not going to be warm either. I mean, it's not the South, but it's all right. It's not New York cold.
Okay, my bad. See, cold is cold. I mean, it doesn't matter where it is, but it's not brisk. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not getting that cold air off the water and things like that.
It's not like last year in Seattle, man. Whew. That was cold game.
I don't even remember feeling anything in Seattle, but I had a great damn time. We got another super chat contribution. Shout out to Mimi B. Good morning, Breezy and John. Good morning, Faithful. Let's just start the season tomorrow. Let's effing go. John, if we started the season tomorrow, who is the starting quarterback?
Trey Lance.
Oh, that was so easy. He said it just rolled off.
Trey Lance.
Just rolled off. It just rolled off. I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. All right, guys, let's keep the show going, man. Super Bowl 60, hosting by Levi Stadium. Love it. Like it. Maybe you don't. I know I do. I think it'll be a great thing. And I don't even live out there, right? But I may just have to come just because it's at our stadium, and I want all the free shit that they're going to hand out throughout that week. I can tell you that. But the 49ers, I'm telling you right now, the 49ers will be in that Super Bowl. I can tell you that right now. It just makes perfect sense. It's set up. It's perfectly to go. Speaking of Trey Lance, I know you got a chance to get the news that Trey Lance is going to be throwing at tight end U. This means he's been invited to tight end U. That means he got an invitation from his own player. His player, friend, comrade, teammate, business partner, whatever you want to call it, George Kittle invited Trey Lance. What does this mean for Trey Lance, John?
Well, I think that Trey is a guy that everybody likes. Like, nobody's ever met Trey and didn't like him. Like, he came to replace Jimmy G. They became best friends. He gets injured, and Brock goes in. He's the first guy to welcome him off the field every single drive of every single game, despite having a busted foot. Everybody loves this dude because of his work ethic. He's very humble. He's chill as hell. And a lot of people put out there that, oh, he's not in the gang. He's not in the cool club. He's not in the what. And it's just like people that create these narratives just constantly keep getting them busted. So I don't think that this is news to really anybody part of the organization or around that locker room. This is news for people that want to drive clicks and say like, oh, well, Sam Darnold's at the game with Kittle and Kittle doesn't like, come on, man. Like this, it's just people create stuff out of thin air and try to drive these things for clicks, and it works, sadly. But yeah, this shouldn't be news. Trey is a good dude and a great teammate, and Kittle, the people that say like dislikes him the most because he says so many glowing things about Jimmy G or Brock Purdy or whatever, they haven't played together. Like the 5 quarters that Trey Lance started last year, George Kittle wasn't even playing. And he gave him a birthday cake. There you go. So I'm sorry. I went off a little bit.
No, I mean, I think we want to hear the real, right? I mean, you get an invite from a person that, you know, the media was trying to portray, he loves Brock Purdy. Oh, he loves Jimmy Garoppolo. Every time he mentions Trey Lance, it's not a negative connotation that he gives off. It's just not a super supportive one. And now you see that George Kittle is doing those things that sound very supportive to Trey Lance. I like the fact that Trey Lance is going to be here and getting and logging in hours, logging in reps. Like, did you see that he's going to be throwing with Josh Allen? Wait a minute. Didn't this offseason he threw with Patrick Mahomes? So now it's top quarterback, top 3 quarterback, arguably number 2 or 3. Patrick Mahomes is my number 1. I don't give what anybody says. Joe Burrow can be 2. Josh Allen can be 2. It's arguable. Jalen Hurts can be 2. Whatever you want to figure. Top 5 quarterback. He's going to be throwing with him. I know a lot of people feel like, hey, man, it's just throwing with him. No. It's not
a big deal
with him. And I was talking about this. I can't remember if it was with Larry Krueger or whoever was it with, but I said that this is good for Trey Lance because he can model some good things and he can learn what not to do from his game. And then all of a sudden, here's a story that came out, and we're going to talk about that right now. So Trey Lance is improving this offseason per Jeff Christensen, John, who is the quarterback's coach of ding, ding, ding,
Patrick Mahomes.
There it is. Just wanted to make sure I give you the ding, 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 ding. Right? Quarterback coach of Patrick Mahomes. Now, this is what stood out to me when what he said about Trey Lance, right? And we know that Trey Lance is going to be, I don't want to say necessarily a work in progress, but I mean, for layman's terms, he's going to be a work in progress, right? Like, he's got to grow. He's got to continue to find ways to grow. But this is what he said. I'm going to read his quotes. I said, watch this. Watch what he does here, Christensen recounted. It was something I was telling him to do that he wasn't quite doing. Then he saw Patrick apply it perfectly. I'm going to stop right there. Why? Because people were telling me that you can't learn from modeling. I've been a teacher for 17 years. I'm a father, and I try to model what I want my youngins to do. You can't tell me that you can't learn from modeling.
Yeah, I don't buy that at all. Even as a coach, position drills, I'm getting my experienced player first. I'm walking them through the drill. I'm showing them how I want this to be enacted. Then I'm having all the young pups watch, and then they go through. And then you coach and correct and all those things. I mean, it's football 101. It's human 101. It's the way in which we learn. It's just what it is. Why is YouTube so huge? Whenever I need something done, I go, I just type in how to not be a dummy on YouTube, and sure enough, I get a bunch of videos. And I watch those videos, and I go do it.
That's it. You want to learn how to make ribs? Go on YouTube. Ooh. You want to learn how to fix a flat tire? You go on YouTube. You learn from modeling, watching, and then you apply it. And yes, who's your daddy? I was a music teacher, and I know people don't feel like that's being a real type-on-type teacher. But at the end of the day, guess how my students learn? Some of them couldn't read music. I had to teach them how to develop an ear. Guess what they learned how to do? I showed them, they recorded it, they went home and practiced it, and they learned from modeling. At the end of the day, it's a way of learning. Not every student is going to learn by you sitting there and just regurgitating everything you spit out. That's not even learning to me. It's all about how they apply it. The fact that the quarterback coach said that he was telling Trey Lance what to do and telling him how to do it, and Trey wasn't grasping the concept, and then he saw another quarterback, quote unquote, the best quarterback in the league, do it. And then let me finish reading. I'm sorry, John. I just went on a rant. And then he saw Patrick apply it perfectly. And I think that visual buy-in, that mental buy-in helped him pass that mental hump. And to his credit, he just kept getting better. He continued. Over the last 7 days, every day was a substantial jump.
I think one of the things I took away from that article was just his eagerness to be taught and coached. And I just don't watch Phillip Rivers. Yeah, the little sidearm, whatever else. That is awesome. But, I'll say this. We go back through why the 49ers took Trey Lance. Was he raw? 100%. We just talked about how he's going to be working. He did work with Patrick Mahomes, who was crazy raw coming out. Cliff Kingsbury couldn't coach him up at all at Texas Tech. I mean, he's never developed one quarterback, even though he's had great. How do you not have a winning record in the Big 12 with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback? That's another issue.
That's a coach thing.
Yeah, but he was compared to Josh Allen, who, again, raw, athletic upside, bigger body, just raw, inaccurate, all those things. Now he's working with him in the offseason as well. So you're getting some of the things from guys who have already gone through the journey that he's trying to get on. And why do you draft him number 3? Because his willingness to learn. That's the thing. He's not, Jamarcus Russell, who has all the traits but no work ethic. This dude works his ass off all the time. Logged the most time in the playbook, back-to-back off seasons. Working out with everybody and anybody that wants to work out. He's got it. It's just got to develop on the field. And so as we go through this, it's just checking off more things that hey, he's got this, he's got this, he's got this. You just got to see it, and we haven't seen it yet. And this is why so many people are excited about Trey Lance and don't want to give up on him. It's because we haven't seen it, right? He just hasn't played that much. Whether that's his fault, injury's fault, Shanahan's fault, whatever, we just haven't seen it. And I'm hoping we get that opportunity this year. I really, really am.
I'm with you, John. I don't know. I don't know what to say. The only thing I can say is just wait for it and thank us later. Because I just got this. I got this father's intuition. I don't know if that's a thing that Trey Lance is going to really blossom in the NFL. I know a lot of people are down on him. I know he had a lot of, things he couldn't seem to quite accomplish as of right now. I know people are impatient. I get it. I get all of that. But the thing that we should be is faithful. And we should show a little faith toward this kid that's been out there since day one, like busting his ass and playing injured. And so then when you don't give him his credit for playing with a broken finger or dislocated finger or whatever the finger was called, he had a torn ligament in his finger, to be honest with you. You had to get that fixed, right? When you're talking about this, a guy that's told, hey man, I need you to just run up in between these tackles and get as many yards as you can. You're gonna get hit, and then gets his ankle like just broken in 55 different places. It was disgusting, right? When you see a kid that's a warrior out there and warrior like that, and then comes off the field, goes through the surgery, gets through that, right? Then comes back and says, you know what, I know I can't be here, but I'm going to be out here cheering my team on. That's number one. That's leadership. Then on top of that, what does he become? Student of the game. So now Trey Lance is he only got wiser in the offseason. He learned film, he watched film, he learned how players are supposed to play, learned what people are not supposed to do, and now it's coming down to the application process. And I can't wait for OTAs, and this is why everybody's so excited. And again, I'm not saying that my expectations are through the roof for him, John. What I'm saying is I understand that it's going to be some growing pains, but I'm here for every single growing pain.
And those that happen whether it's Brock or Trey. That's coming. That's because they're both 23. They're both young. The only difference is we saw it for Brock for those 7 games, which was awesome. But, again, it's 7 games. We know about buying into quarterbacks after a small sample size. And I love Brock Purdy. It's just we've already seen it. I want to also see it from Trey. It's not I expect Trey to be the starting quarterback. Let's move off Brock Purdy. That's not my take or your take at all. That's not it at all. It's, man, we have an opportunity to have 2 very young rookie contract quarterbacks with elite potential, and what team can say that? That is a beautiful thing. And so if you're one of those people that's just like Brock Purdy's the guy, man, I don't disagree with you. I think he is the guy. But you could have 2 guys, and that is awesome. The flexibility, they're cheap. That's crazy because we know more than anybody else, you got to have more than one quarterback, sadly.
Just the way the 49ers tick.
Yeah. And one more thing before we jump off this Trey Lance talk, or we could keep talking about this, I don't care. I thought the most important thing that's come out this offseason was Kyle Shanahan, the guy coaching him, said the best thing about Trey is his base. People always focus on arm movements and the throw-in motion because that's just where your eyes go. I'm telling you as a former coach, if a quarterback is inconsistent, it's base, it's footwork, it's waist down, not waist up. So that was the biggest thing. And everybody just kind of glazed over it and they want to talk about arm soreness and all that stuff. And those are factors. I'm not saying that they're not factors. I'm telling you right now, when Kyle Shanahan works out a quarterback, the very first thing that he does, he gets one of those pylons. I don't know if you've seen this drill. He throws it down. The quarterback straddles the pylon. You sink your hips and you constantly move your feet because he's trying to judge how shifty, how consistent your footwork gets when your legs get tired. And that's one of the things that I think is huge. Shanahan said that he has the best base he's seen in the 3 years working with him.
That was symphonic, bro. I had the orchestra going up and down. I had the tempo going for you, bro. You was on it.
I was doing the foot drill underneath the desk. I don't know if that picked up on the YouTube, but I'm moving the legs back and forth. I'm just saying.
I was going to talk about that. I think I was going to write about that because he mentioned the bass and the fact that you were able to just break it down for me and for everybody out there. I mean, that was pretty spot on. You had no idea I was going to talk about that. You get the ding-dings for sure. But that's the latest on Trey Lance. He's been improving. And so when that's coming from a quarterback's coach that's coaching the greatest quarterback that's playing football right now, that should give you a little bit of weight. That should add some weight to it. And then when your head coach comes out, doesn't have to co-sign that, but co-signs an area where we all felt like, oh, his base is off. Oh, he's inconsistent because of this. How about he was just inconsistent because the processing of the game? Maybe it was just a lot faster for him to comprehend. And so he's rushing his throws. Has nothing to do with his base. It just has to do with the timing in his head, which is what made Brock Purdy really good because he already had the timing. I wonder why. When you play a lot of college football, it's probably there, right? You get a lot of snaps in college.
Probably there. And Trey didn't get that.
Here we go. Because now there's a quarterback that the 49ers, who I feel like is the contingency plan. God forbid something happens to your Trey Lance or Brock Purdy, you have the perfect solution. And bringing in a guy like Sam Darnold because he's young, he has an arm like Trey Lance, can get the ball down the field, and you're hoping his processing game is almost identical to what Brock Purdy does. He can also be mobile if you need him to run. He scored a couple of rushing touchdowns, and I'm not talking about from the 4 or 5 yard line. I'm talking 40 plus. And so you get that from Sam Darnold. He's also a veteran's veteran. He's been in the league. He's started, and now he's going to be coming to a great team. So Mike Martz spoke a little bit about this, and he made this statement, and I want to play it, and then again, I don't want to play it because I always get flagged for music in the background, so I'm not going to play it. But he talked about, this is what he said. I'll read the quote. "I believe Darnold will start," Martz wrote. "He was a highly talented guy coming out of college. He was put in a couple of tough situations with the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers. Now he's with a solid offensive staff and a coach who is brilliant with quarterbacks. The 49ers are an extremely talented team, and Darnold being the starter would be a good thing. They are primed to have a great season." John, talk about Mike Martz and his statement.
I struggle with Martz a lot of times. He's been very anti any mobile quarterback anytime they come out. Like, not just Trey Lance. He's been very anti-Trey Lance. But any mobile quarterback that comes out, he has nothing positive to say about them. It's just not his style of game. He is not adapted from when he's coaching. You look at, like, the quarterbacks that he worked with, Kyle Bowler, Kurt Warner. Like, he wants statues in the pocket. That's what he wants. So not surprised with him coming out on the hardcore Sam Darnold. Again, he does not like Trey Lance, has not liked Trey Lance. But I do like the stuff about how great the offense is from a neutral perspective and seeing those things. And we started talking about Kyle Shanahan earlier this episode, but it's interesting because if I was a quarterback and I struggled, who would I want to play with? Now, we're not the only NFL team with 3 quarterbacks, by the way. The Steelers just signed 3 quarterbacks, right? They got their young guy,
Mason
Pickett.
Rudolph is back, yeah.
They brought back Mason Rudolph, and then they just signed Mitch Trubisky to a 2-year extension. And so, I'm just saying, this is an NFL thing that teams want to do. Who's the best coach in the NFL? In my opinion, it's Mike Tomlin.
Ooh, see, a lot of people would have said Andy Reid.
No, man. Andy Reid's great, an offensive juggernaut, but he never won a Super Bowl until Mahomes came around. And I put Andy Reid, I think he's top 3. I have him ahead of Shanahan for sure. But, no, I can't do all those off-the-field issues and people that hit their families and kids and try to build a team with those type of guys. That's just not me. But
Understood.
He's a great offensive mind, whatever else. That's just my own personal whatever. But Mike Tomlin's won the big game with Ben Roethlisberger, who is nowhere near Patrick Mahomes, right? So you're what is Shanahan doing? What is Mike Tomlin doing? There's some overlap there. It's smart. Insulating with a rookie contract quarterback and developing depth at the quarterback position so that if injuries happen, there you go, you're insulated.
All right. I could dig it. Listen, John Mitchell says bang on with Mart's critique. John, he feels like you did a bang-up job.
Thank you, John.
On the critique.
John?
I don't know what makes Mike Martz so bitter about, this particular style of quarterback. I just think he's so old school.
Get off my lawn.
You get what I'm saying? That too.
And there's nothing wrong with having your system. That's who he was. That's who he is. Why would he change at his old age? It ain't happening. It's not. Oh, look at this. I'm sorry.
No, you got it, John, and I love it. You're the announcement king because you're so on it. Shout out to Tanisha. We have a new YouTube member. Welcome to the Breezie's Bunch, Tanisha.
Up,
we truly appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of this broadcast, this channel, this community. We love you. Stay up, stay faithful, Tanisha.
Incredible.
Welcome.
Hey, and
John,
everybody else,
you make the
get your
announcements.
I got excited. Did you see me? I got excited. Everybody
Your
else.
voice decibels changed.
It did.
Look at this.
put your you can say a lot of things about me, but I get excited. I get excited. That was awesome. Put your hashtag BBs in the chat, guys. We got a giveaway coming, and again, that's only on Wayne's channel. So if you're watching this on my channel, go type in the Wayne Breezie, or it's in the link in the description of my channel. You'll see it under this video. It's the first link. Click that. Go over there. Put hashtag BB for your chance to win an Elijah Mitchell autographed jersey this episode. But you got to be on Wayne's channel.
Now, I'm just to sum up the whole Mike Martz situation. He's just old school, guys. I don't think he's ever going to conform to today's game. He wants that pocket passing type of quarterback. I think the game is changing. I think quarterbacks coming out of college are a lot different. You can kind of blame it on the collegiate system because they want to put up a lot of points. So what do, John? They spread everybody out. They make you match up. And if you can cover guys, you're good. And if you can't cover guys, man, quarterbacks are going to have field days, right? They're going to have 4,000 or 5,000 yards on you throughout the season. But listen,
I thought you were about to do a Milli Vanilli take with the blame it on the
blame it on
there we
the
go.
Rain.
The system. It doesn't roll as well.
I mean, the system, same difference, you know. But listen, John, let's get to the meat and potatoes because that was really cool. We got an exercise that we're going to do for you guys, right? And no, you don't have to do any push-ups or things like that. But we want to know who the best wide receiver trio of the NFC is, okay? And so John and I have 16 teams. So I say 32. We 16 in the NFC, and we're going to rank them. But we have to agree. And this is going to be interesting because John and I didn't prepare. We did this right before the show started. So this is kind of like on the fly. So
this is hard because let's talk about our criteria because, okay, I think you need a star, but I almost, whenever you told me we were doing this, I pulled up all the wide receivers and the first thing I look for, who's the number 3? You know what I'm saying? Like I want quality. So, like, are you looking at who's got the best number 1, or are you looking at best, like, stud? And so, for me, the first thing I'm looking at is who your number 3 is. Because you could have a stud, like Justin Jefferson, who's probably the best. But if you've got, you know, something yucky, I hate that word, but, like, something not great at the end, then it changes. It depends on who your 3 is.
Baby Moses in the place. What's up, Morgan?
That's
wait a minute,
awesome,
Morgan.
man.
Why you not at school? And if you at school watching the show, wait, ain't today Friday? Hold up. I ain't trying to blow up the spot. I'm just going to tell your daddy. I'm just going to tell him because I ain't getting in trouble. But I tell you, if he kick you out, you're more than welcome to come over here and we can have some fun. I'm just saying. All right. But welcome, Morgan. Thanks for watching.
Going to get him in trouble.
I did.
How are you going to get fired on your day off?
I don't know. It's crazy. John, you got to do it again.
Oh, we got another new member, Coach Cruz. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Guys, listen. The reason why I get so excited, this is not my channel. This is not even on my channel. This is how we eat. This is how we survive. And getting the support, whether financially or involvement or whatever, and everybody's got how they could help. This is a big deal. And Wayne is somebody you should support. Wayne is somebody that gives back. And this is awesome. Thank you, Coach. Incredible.
Man, Coach Cruz, man, I love you, bro. And if I don't get my own personal WB hat, all right, I did it. That's why I haven't been responding in the chat because we have a private chat, y'all.
We got some 49ers Rush hats coming soon.
One of them shits better say WB on it. Rush.
It's the WB.
You know what I mean? All right. So, John, are you ready to take on this task? Because this is tough.
It is. This is okay. So, how do we want to start this? This is your show.
You do. You're here. You do it.
All right. Let's go division so that it's not scattered. We want to do that. So you pick a division, and we'll do that, but not ours, not the West. We'll do the West last. Let's do the North. All right, we already brought up the Vikings, right? So let's start with the Vikings because is there a better wide receiver than Justin Jefferson right now? I don't know if there is. There might be some on his level, but there's nobody better than him
in the NFC or we're just doing NFC, right?
Yeah, just NFC.
Because no.
Is there anybody better than Justin Jefferson in the NFC?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Okay. I like where you're going with this. I'll put him number 1. But does that make their trio number 1?
Now, number 2 is Jordan Addison, rookie. Awesome. I think he's going to be great number 2. But then KJ Osborne, I'm not the biggest fan of. He's not
Slot
bad.
No.
Slot guy, returner. Like, that cost me. Like, that knocks it down, right? Now, the Lions, this is the gambling wide receiver room. They all got suspended. Amon-Ra St. Brown, incredible. Josh Reynolds. Nah, Josh Reynolds, I'm not a big fan of. He's just not. But Jamison Williams, we don't know. We saw a couple games, but now he's suspended 6 games. I'm putting the Vikings way ahead of them. Like, you're taking Vikings over Lions, right?
So are we going to just focus on the divisions first and then try to get our top? Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that way. This is the North, right?
Yeah, this is North.
All right. So now I think I like the Vikings over the Lions. So that
Same.
makes sense.
Packers is terrible. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Samari Torrey might be the worst in the NFL.
Vikings are 1 out of that division.
Bears is solid. If we're going by the number 3,
but they did add DJ Moore, right?
DJ Moore, he's a stud. Chase Claypool, solid.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney as a 3 is pretty damn good.
That's a steal.
It's pretty damn good.
You put a number 1 in your number 3.
Yeah, I like that.
Ooh.
So now the question is Bears or Vikings? And I want to see this in the chat. Who has the better 3 wide receivers, Vikings or Bears? Again, Vikings, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne. Bears, DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney.
I still going to go with the Vikings because Justin Jefferson and
he's
group,
so good.
And when you add Jordan Addison from USC, you have to feel like it's going to elevate it. But the Bears got a nice trio. I see a lot of people saying Bears, Mose knows. We got some Vikings in here. Vikings, Bears.
Close. It's close. Mike Clay of ESPN's doing this rankings of all the positions. He's got the Vikings ahead of the Bears as well. And I'm with you. Justin Jefferson's that much better than DJ Moore that I think that covers up the number 3.
I don't know if he's that much. I mean, he's clearly better. I think DJ Moore got the short end of the shit stick, sorry, baby Mose, last season because the quarterback was just so inconsistent for him, and he just was terrible. But the year before, he had a phenomenal year. It was like top 5 wide receiver in the NFC. So I don't know if he's that much better. He's definitely better. But This is interesting. But I still have the Vikings ahead.
Yeah, so our order for the NFC North is Vikings 1, Bears 2, Lions 3, Packers 4.
Save the West for last because they're the best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, let's go East. Because I'm going to be honest. There are a lot of good wide receiver cores here. All right, let's start with the Eagles. I mean, they've got Brown. They've got Smith. Now, Zacchaeus, that's where it gets weird, right? Because or Quez Watkins, who do you want to put there? Britton Covey, I don't think so. But A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, that's about as good a 1-2.
Good duo.
But then a drop-off. The number 3 is not good.
I like where you're going.
They're kind of like the Niners in the sense that they have 2 good wide receivers and a great tight end. Dallas Goedert, I think, is incredible. So, that's how they would see it, but that's not what we're doing here. Giants, terrible. Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, Jalen Hyatt.
Don't know, though. He's unknown.
No, I don't like this at all. I'm putting them 4 without even – they're last in this division.
Okay.
Commanders. Ooh, I like this one. Again, if we're going depth.
This is the top trio now.
Terry McLaurin, Johan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel. The Big Ten. If you're a Big Ten fan, you like these guys.
You like these guys. This is a number 2. This is the number 2.
I don't know.
Oh, because I didn't know Cowboys yet.
Cowboys. CD Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup. I love Michael Gallup.
That they got Michael Gallup in the slot? That's a cheat code.
No, CD Lamb would be in the slot.
Okay.
But he plays outside and inside, but I think over half of his snaps were in the slot last year. I again, if we're looking at number 3, yeah, Coach Cruz says you got to include Waller. Yeah, because he's not a tight end, but yeah, he's a tight end for. So here's my question: if we're looking at the number 3 wide receiver, Michael Gallup is by far and away. Who's the best wide receiver? Period. It's AJ Brown. Second would be a toss between Terry McLaurin and CD Lamb. Probably CD would be
I got
better.
McLaurin over CD, bro.
They're close. I'm going Cowboys 1. I think the Cowboys is better wide receiver core because I like Malcolm Gallup that much.
They have the trio. I don't know. You have them over the Eagles, which makes sense. The trio is there. It's tough for me because you got the veteran Curtis Samuel in the slot. That's tough. I'm going Commanders 1.
Oh, Commanders 1
out of the East. I'm going Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants.
Commanders, Cowboys. Man, that's crazy because I might have.
What are we doing here, Mouse?
There we go. I might have the Cowboys with the best wide receiving core of any, like, in the whole. Maybe. You got them number 2 in their own division. But I think that's a testament to, guess what NFC East does? They build from the outside in almost exclusively.
Exclusively, John. Exclusively.
And that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. All right. So we're finishing with Commanders 1, Cowboys 2, Eagles 3, Giants 4. Let's go to the South. Falcons. They've got a good one, Drake London. Then it just drops off. Mac Hollins, Scott Miller, like not good.
They may be last. They may be 4.
But they got Kyle Pitts. They got Bijan. Like,
we're not counting any of these other players but wide receivers.
Just wide receivers. Saints.
If I added George Kittle, ain't nobody seeing the 49ers.
Dude, this whole division is trash. Chris Olave's great. But after that, Rashid Shaheed, Michael Thomas.
I'm not shitting on Michael Thomas, bro. If he's healthy, that's a bonus.
If.
It's an if. It's an if.
If. How many games has this cat played in?
Oh, gosh, John. Listen, this is probably my favorite player from the Ohio State. Let me have this one.
No.
Okay.
I can't. Okay. I can't. This dude is a clown, bro. He's a hell of a player, though. He has played in 3 games. Let's even put in 2020.
Michael Thomas, John.
He's played in 10 games in 3 years.
Who is his quarterback?
One injury.
He stopped playing after Drew Brees retired, correct?
He got paid and was done, dude. He Albert Haynesworth these guys, I swear.
He was like, I'm good.
Got what I wanted. They should have never gave him money. They should have never gave y'all money.
Before we rank these, John, I want to give a shout out, a super shout out to Mimi B. All right, Mimi B. She just gifted a membership to someone. I don't know who the membership goes to. I think I find out later or whatever. But thank you, Mimi. Actually, it was gifted to _187. Is that? Never mind. I was just thinking of the movie. But
187
on an undercover
list.
cop. Yeah, and I was thinking deep cover. But Mimi B, thank you so much for gifting the membership. We appreciate you straight up. All right, John, how are we ranking?
Okay.
This is tough.
So who's worse? It's not who's better. Who's worse out of the Saints and the Falcons? Drake London versus Chris Olave.
Falcons. You're not going to shit on. You already crapped on him, and that's fine. Drake London is not better than Chris Olave.
No, he's not. You're correct there. I do agree with you. Man, why are you backing up all these Ohio State guys? What's wrong with you?
Because they freaking kill Michigan. But I be liking them.
Peachy somewhere with the biggest smile on her face right now.
Hell yeah. But listen, I don't say anything until they get to the NFL. Then it's free reign.
Cool.
And don't let them become a Niner, because then I'm like, okay, I can dig it.
All right.
I can dig it.
Here we go. Panthers. DJ Chark, Adam Thielen, Terrace Marshall Jr.
That's
not bad.
That's a decent trio.
Not bad. Bucks, not even close. Michael Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage.
They're number one.
Yeah, they're number one.
That's number one. It's Bucks, Panthers, Saints, Falcons.
Yeah. So you would put DJ Chark, Adam Thielen over Chris Olave?
So, man.
Yeah,
DJ Chark in the slot, bro. You get in the veteran Adam Thielen to be your number one. Terrence Marshall could play in the slot. It's a big guy. That's a decent trio. They get them a quarterback. They're good to go. Who the fuck is the quarterback for the Panthers?
The small dude,
the
Bryce,
kid that you can't see over the offensive line.
Did you see that video?
I did. He's so tiny. He looked like a character from the Little Giants. You ever see the Little Giants?
Oh
and
yeah,
the booger coming out his nose.
The annexation of Puerto Rico.
That's it. That's the play they're going to be running in Carolina.
All right, let's do the West. Seattle Seahawks, I think probably by far one of the best in the NFL. You
They
got
got a tough
Metcalf,
trio,
Tyler Lockett, and they just drafted Smith and Jigba. That's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, just I hate the Seahawks, but intimidation. He does the juice box thing. Yeah, that's so great. That's so great.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Rams, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, and Scournick. God, that's bad. That is so bad.
I don't think it's bad. I think this is the toughest. This is tough.
I mean, Kupp's amazing. Kupp's amazing.
Yeah,
but
but
Van Jefferson?
We haven't seen him play much because of injury, but they might be last. I think. Let me hear the Cardinals.
Cardinals pretty solid.
Hopkins,
Marquise Brown, and Rondale Moore. Like
they're number 3. So Rams
number
are
3?
last.
Rams are last?
Yeah.
And
I
then the
think the
49ers,
Seahawks
Debo, Ayuk, Jennings.
I think the Seahawks, they got the number 1 trio.
Oh, yeah. And again, going back to, Mike Clay's rankings, here we go. He had Seattle second overall, number 1 in the NFC. And so Arizona was next up on his list. He had the Arizona Cardinals way higher than the Niners. Niners were in the middle for him.
It's because you got Hopkins, and then with I think the issue with the 49ers, they just have so many weapons that they don't necessarily utilize their wide receiving trio like most regular teams in the NFL. And so because of that, they don't feel like the wide receivers is going to give you that production that these other wide receivers are going to give you. It's got to be that. That's the only thing that makes sense. But the Niners wide receiving trio is ridiculous because you can flip-flop your slot. You can go Ray. You can go Jennings. I'm going to start Jennings in the slot. But Brandon Ayuk is a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Deebo Samuel's a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Like that, you got to factor that in. If they're utilized, they're going to produce. If they're not utilized, they're still going to produce, just in different ways, and then the Niners are producing in a different way. But based off of wide receivers, that's what we're doing. This is not a homer show, even though this is a homer show.
Yeah. All right, so the number 1 of each division, Commanders, McLaurin, Johan Dotson, Curtis Samuel. Vikings, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne.
I like John.
Bucks,
I like how you did this.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, and the Seahawks.
All right, we give you our top
Lockett,
5. You
Smith
ready?
And Jigba. Yeah.
So those are going to be your 4. So now we got to put the 4 together, and then we're going to pick the best 2, the best overall number 2 team.
Okay.
That'll be our top
I like
5.
this. Yeah, I like this.
I like it too because we just thought about the shit right here on the show. Didn't know what we were doing,
Yeah.
So let's go.
So I'm thinking Commanders is good. I'm not putting the Vikings. I think the Vikings are 4 for me.
Ooh.
Because, again, for me, you've got to have a good number 3. I'm taking Curtis Samuel way over KJ Osborne.
Can I ask this question? If the Vikings kept Adam Thielen, would they be higher up to you?
Oh, hell yeah. They might be number 1 in the NFL.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. And you aren't sold on Jordan Addison yet. You don't know what he's going to do.
I think he'll be good. I think it's a perfect fit for him. But, yeah, again, it comes down to me, the number 3 guy. Like, you've got to have 3 good studs. And I don't think the Vikings have that. They have 2 really good ones. And, again, you look at the Bucks, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I'm taking that's 2 beasts. Russell Gage is pretty damn good. And then the Seahawks, Metcalf, Lockett, and Jigba. Me personally, I think I put Seahawks 1 on this list.
Okay. I'm going to put all right, so you got your 4, right? Don't give me your 5. You got your 4 order. Let me do my 4 order, then we'll get our 5th, and then we could chop this up. All right, here we go. So my number 1 is going to be Tampa. My number 2 is going to be Seattle.
Okay. Hold on.
My number 3 is going to be, who am I missing? The Vikings
and Commanders.
Shit. My number 3 is going to be the Commanders, and then my number 4 is going to be the Vikings.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
I went Tampa over Seattle because Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and then when you add in their 3rd guy, like that's that's domination. They just need if they get the perfect if they have the right quarterback, that's tough.
They didn't last year, and it still wouldn't work. I mean, they had Tom Brady last year, and it wasn't working. I don't see how Baker's going to make it work.
They weren't bad last year, though. Chris Godwin was just he was just coming back from his ACL injury. Mike Evans was dropping passes. Why don't he drop one in our game? Thank God. But he was just dropping passes. Again, we don't know what Jackson Smith and Nigba's going to be and Jigba's going to be in the NFL. We know what Tyler Lockett can be. We know what DK Metcalf can be. I like Mike Evans over Metcalf, but that's my personal thing.
Oh, yeah, I do too. So, all right, so that's your 4. So here are the 2s. 49ers, Panthers, Bears, Cowboys.
I'm going, oh, shit.
Yeah, it's so, again, just the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup. Bears, DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell
It's coming
Mooney.
down to the Bears and Cowboys. I mean, the Bears and 49ers for me.
Over the Bears?
I mean the Cowboys and 49ers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't – for me, I don't think it's close. Like, that number 3, Michael Gallup over Juwan Jennings. Yeah, I think the Cowboys – again, I would put the Cowboys almost at the top of the list for me for the whole NFC. But
Michael
that's okay.
Gallup, for me – as good of as a receiver he can be, I like Juwan Jennings better.
They do different things. There's no doubt about it. They play 2 different positions. Michael Gallup's like straight up outside. Juwan's pretty much exclusively in the slot.
I'm going Niners as my 5th, and that's not because it's a homer show.
You're taking them over the Cowboys.
I'm taking them over the Cowboys. Cowboys would be my 6th.
Okay. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right,
guys. Those are our top 5s. We'll go ahead and chop this up. Make sure you guys get it in a smaller trunket segment. But yeah, man, best wide receiver. Let us know what you think in the chat, whether you comment at the end of the show. We would love to know who your top 5 receivers are in the NFC. And why are we doing this? Because the whole thing is will the 49ers dominate the NFC this year? And we're gonna figure out how and which ways that they feel like they can dominate the NFC. All right, and so that's why we're doing this segment. So each week we're gonna be bringing you a different position group. If you guys want to produce a position group for us to do next, all you got to do is shoot us an email. You can hit up John Chapman. Y'all love to email him. Y'all scared to email me, I guess, because I don't respond back. But it's at the end of the day, if you whatever it is you want, let us know. We'll go ahead and do this. So why don't you guys pick the next week's position group? Let's save quarterbacks for last. All right, and let's focus on some of these other position groups. John, before we get up out of here, we got 2 things we want to do. One thing I want to do first before we do the giveaway is I want to talk about the 49ers Rush road trip that we have planned for this upcoming season. Take us away, John.
Man, I'm pumped about this because we've learned what works and what doesn't, and what creates good parties and what doesn't. And so this is going to be our 3rd year doing this. We started back, the first event I ever threw was at the Super Bowl in Miami with Frank Gore, which was awesome. Working with some current players. We'll see how that works out with the agents and the contracts to get them out and all that stuff. We'll give more of that. But tickets are up for sale. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. We have our 6 initial trips up. We're going to be adding more. But again, games we're going to. Steelers, we've got 2 parties. Dallas, we've got 2 parties. Vikings, 2 parties. Jacksonville, 2 parties. Seattle, 2 parties. And then at Arizona, 2 parties. Arizona didn't get a game last year because of the Mexico City game, which we went to, and it was amazing. But we will be throwing a gigantic party in Arizona. Oh, what's up, Jack? She said, just bought her ticket. Thank you. It's so excited to hang out. And again, the whole idea behind this was I would go to these games by myself. My wife works weekends. And so I would just show up at a random city by myself with no plans. And the whole idea was, nah, screw that. We travel together. And, you are with us. Before, after the game, the night before, you're going to know people. You're going to meet people. The community is real. And it's all about just increasing the fan experience. Everything is family friendly. We want to pass this on and bring the kids into the fan base, into the tradition. And man, you want your kid to watch Niners games with you? Take them to one of these damn events. I promise you. It changes everything after that.
It does change everything. And the one thing that we love to do is make sure that you're very well pleased. Make sure you have a good time. Last time we were in California. Where were we at, John? And we had the Nintendo. We had the game.
Oh yeah, that was at home in Santa Clara. Yeah,
home in Santa Clara, and we were playing. John kicked me off. I was beating some kid's ass.
He was so mad at me.
And because he kicked me off. It was the old Madden too, like Madden
94. It was 94.
Was it 94?
I think so.
Whatever. And
Might have been
it's when
96.
And it wasn't 94 because the Niners were trash in that Madden that I was playing with, so I used the Patriots. And so I remember because he picked the Niners. The other person picked the Niners. And so I'm still mad because John kicked. I was winning, and then I got kicked off because I had to let a little kid play. I'm sorry, though, but when it comes to games, I am the kid.
Oh, man.
Speaking of games, you ever see that movie, The Wiz?
Yeah.
Remember that movie? And that little kid, which was like killing in Super Mario 3. He was like the master. Fred Savage, I think, was in that movie.
Yeah, he had the glove. You remember the Nintendo glove? The cheap. Yeah.
I had the glove. I had a power glove, bro.
That is awesome.
But guys, make sure you go to www.49ersrushroadtrip.com. It's early special. Have no idea how long it lasts because John don't tell me shit. Listen, make sure you go there now. Their tickets are $10. I didn't even know that they were this cheap. Matt, get your tickets now because if not, you're going to be mad later. And I'm just going to tell you right now. Get your tickets now. Early bird special. There's the thing. I'll put the link in the description of the show. We have a super chat contribution, John, that I definitely want to read. We shouted out all our new members. Jax Knox came back. Didn't I not tell you that Jax Knox is on the 17-0 trip? And I'm not going to knock her for it, John.
The 49ers are favored in 16 out of 17 games. So Vegas ain't too far off, Jack.
I wonder if she's paying attention to Vegas.
You know what else is funny? The Arizona Cardinals are underdogs in all 17 games.
Has that ever happened before?
Yeah, I think it has. I think it's happened a couple times, but yeah, that's how bad
17?
they are. All 17.
Dang.
It could change. It changes. The lines
week
move,
by
but
week.
currently.
Yeah. Change like the weather. Yeah. Jax, thank you for the contribution. Our brother Eddie G is in the place to be.
He's the best, man.
Says, love you, bros. If anyone has a chance, go to the Rush Road Trip parties.
Awesome.
Go. My son and I had a great time in Atlanta. See y'all in Jacksonville, dog.
Duval.
I feel like that's an actor's name. I don't know how I feel about saying
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall, yeah.
But that's the county. That's what they all chant that in Jacksonville. If you've never been down there, that's the name of their county. And so like frat boys and stuff, like when they do like their shots or whatever, they'll be like Duval, and then they do something dumb. Like it's a characterization, but
okay,
it's what it is.
I mean,
you're gonna hear it.
Frats, I'm on my Oregon stuff, and I'm thinking Animal House. But anyway, Christy Marie's in the building. Super chat contribution. Congratulations, Breezie, on 3K. This is not just a congratulations to me. This is a congratulations to this whole community. You guys made this show happen. Guys, if you don't know what happened, man, I mean, just imagine the channel, we were doing so great. And during a game, during the preview of the Chiefs game, a game we got our ass mollywopped in, the channel was hacked and had to start all over. And if there was three people, Peachy, John, and Mike, and I quit. I just gave up. And John let me get my frustrations out before he told me stop being stupid. Peachy told me stop being stupid right off the top. And Mike just kind of like bitch slapped me. And but it's hard because I put in so much stuff to get where we had got to, which was at that 5K mark. We had just reached 5K. But then everybody out here, Paul, what a great person. Paul Hope, if you don't know who he is, if you're not subscribed to his channel, please go and subscribe. Jesse, Mose, there's so many people. John V, Mariah. There's too many of you, and I'm going to get cussed at for not naming every one of you, but everyone, your support, your push, everything that you've been doing to get us back here has been grateful. Thank you for the contribution, Christy. I truly appreciate you. And thank you for holding down the goddamn Discord. I ain't been on my own Discord in a week, but they're still out there, chat. I get all these alerts. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm just playing. But thank you guys for everything that you do, man. The community is amazing. John, you taught me about the community. It's been great. Thank you so much for sharing your community with me and allowing me to build and do this community here. And thank you for being a part of it. We got a giveaway. And the name came in random on my jizzoint. And drum roll, please. Do I have a drum roll sound? John, you have a drum roll sound? That was an
I don't
eardrum.
have any sounds. Oh.
The winner is Jax Knox.
No way. That's awesome, man.
Congratulations, Jax. You are the winner of the Elijah Mitchell jersey giveaway. Shout out to everybody that participated and, with the hashtag BBs, things like that. And listen, every 1K, I'm giving away a free jersey. So the more you guys promote this channel, the more you put it out there, the more I'm going to give away. It's something that I love to do, and I want to share some of this memorabilia that I have with you guys. But congratulations to Jax Knox. You're the winner. John, it's that time, man. We went over 15 minutes, but it's been well worth it. And
Love it, man.
You get to send us home, baby.
Dude, I'll say this, man. This is fun. Yeah, just all the different topics. Like, it's so funny. We're in the middle of May, and it's just like it's hard to get us to shut up because there's just so much to talk about, which is awesome. So stick with us. We're going to be here all off season. Hit that subscribe button for Wayne Breezie. Got to hit that subscribe button wherever you listen. If you listen audio-wise, whatever. Thank you for all of the support. And, man, this is going to be a fun off season. Excited about what's to come. And until next time, as always, stay strong, faithful.
Yeah.